So our switches we have two of them. One here with two wires and then two of these connectors here. And we will, you can see on and off positions of the switches. It doesn't really matter which way they are right now, but it will when you go to test it. So we'll go ahead and strip off the ends. Here, this one, and this one. Okay. And we will, on one end, we'll do a red, and one will do a black with the blue connector. So again, you want to make sure we don't over push our wire like that, that we just put it to the little stopping point, and we give it a good crimp, because this is a very important connection. It goes for your switch. This first switch is going to be, I believe it's the heater switch, so yeah, you give it a tug. Sometimes these will jiggle a little bit just because the plastic part kind of slides around. But it's not to worry, it should be okay. So again, we do the same to the black, and we give it a good crimp. Okay. And tug it. So the O switch, just so you have a frame of reference. So here on the Strudel printed electronic box, we have on and off. And the O is always towards the on side. So when we look down here, we're gonna be basically pushing these switches in here, and the most space is on the top. So keeping that in mind, we're going to put on to the switch. So if our switch is here, I'm just gonna flip it over. We're going to put on, doesn't matter which red and black go where, we're gonna slide on our red and our black wire. And like so. And those should be pretty tight. If these come off easily, you should crimp and push them down. And what I mean by that is you should basically try to make it such that these are a snug fit. If those are loose, then you won't have adequate on-off capability. So this part here, these wires are actually, we're gonna slip them through. So we're actually going to be doing the heat switch here. And so first, so if you see kind of down to the center, there's a port to try to get the switches through. And that will be where we feed our wire. Kind of up to the side. So basically here, see how it's a little bit up and to the right, and I feed the wire through, and it should come basically through this port over here. If it comes to the side and is not coming through this little channel, you have to take it back out. I find this is easiest if the wire is pulled really straight. If it starts to bend, restraightening it helps make this easier. So push this through. And you can twist this around, to get it into place. And I don't like to push the switches down until we're ready to go. So once everything's set and tested, then we commit to pushing the switches into this port. It's easier to diagnose if there's a connection issue. So that's the first switch. So the second switch is going to be practically identical. So we have our two wires, and we're going to strip and crimp them. So. Like so, and then we're going to crimp down on our blue connector so we can attach these to the switches. Give it a good squeeze. Check it, it should be tight. The second one. Right. Good push. Those are good. So the same thing with this. So got the O on off should work fine. And we're going to put these again on the top. So again, looking at the on, and then if you flip it over, imagine pushing that into this like so. We're going to put them on the top. Again, doesn't matter necessarily red or black, we just need a circuit. So sometimes these can be a little bit stiff if they're not too loose or just right, and you have to push and kind of wiggle them on to the switch. Alright, those look good. So again, if straightening the wires helps guide these through into the port, so we can pick up our switch bar here, and we will then slide these through. You can see they're supposed to go through this channel and out here like the other, so it's kind of the upper left channel. If you get this in the right position, you can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. So hold on, I'm gonna basically get these through. Sometimes if the ends are different, it can give you a little bit of trouble, but try to make this as easy as possible and as clean as possible for the actual design. So there we go, push it through. So they should wiggle out the other side. You can kind of twist around the switch, and again, get it through, get it primed. Don't push it, you can push it in or you don't have to, but it's usually recommended not to push it all the way in until we're ready to go. So here we have our two pieces. We've done all our wires. So getting kind of close. So we will put these two pieces together.